Hello, the game has started. It's me to go fast. I have the blank, which is good. Do I have a bingo? WU together means it's unlikely. But I wouldn't want to miss one. Now, I can't see a bingo. So how to sort the rack out? I could just play UH. For 10 points. It's keeping a vowel heavy rack leave, but I've got a scoring tile in the W to get me out of trouble if I draw vowels. And I draw the second blank, and that's pretty good. I've got a weighted. UH takes a D in front. I'm not sure about unweighted in column 8. UH takes nothing after it. I suspect I've got a multitude of bingos in rows G and I. It would be nice to have the blanks on separate racks, but it's good to have them, not least because it means my opponent doesn't have them and won't have them. I don't think I've got a bingo ending in U in column 8. At the bottom of column 8, a bingo would begin probably un, uni, or up. Close to up wafted, but I can't see anything. If I do have a choice of bingos, I'll be looking to provide or to restrict the openings to my opponent, or the hotness of the board after I play the bingo, whether in terms of bingo lanes or vowels next to premium squares, or access to premium squares. My opponent taking a while. He does have a bingo. Now, he's opened up a double-double with an O in third spot. Do I have a bingo with the O? A-E-I-O, not a great set of 4 tiles. Can't see anything. I don't see anything beginning with N-U. Or ending... Do I have anything ending nut? I don't think so. So I'm really looking for any bingo now. So what about through the P? I'm not sure about tape-wise. It's hard to see bingos when you've got 2 blanks. I've got the out prefix. Can't see anything there. Now I have got Doughties in row I and NUS. And the same in column 10. What about a play ending something S with my W here? This would restrict the openings for my opponent. The penultimate tile would need to be a T or the blank. So I could play waiters here. I could look for a play with the T in this spot, but the score difference isn't very much. Waiter's not ideal in that it takes an A in front, but that's not as dangerous as it looks because a play in column 2 would open up column 1, 70 points. A balanced rack. Can't see a bingo, but I have scoring tiles. Hoagie is good. My play of waiters has obstructed my opponent's use of H1, or eliminated it, since nothing goes between A and W. And I've got no vowels next to premium squares, so his scoring options, I think, are quite limited. Column 10 available for a 7-letter bingo ending in S, which would be immensely annoying. Certainly when you see the blank on your rack at the beginning of the game, you're hopeful of establishing a lead. That hasn't happened. Now I'm looking in row F to see if I can get my H or my Y on this triple letter square. I could play How, H-A-O. Not a great rack leave. D and G don't go well together. So certainly Hoagie, the best I've seen, but nowhere for it. I don't think H-E-H-S is good. Now I do have an A for going in front of waiters. Do I have a 6-letter play? I don't think so. Through a T I would have Agadoth. Yoga would sort the rack out quite nicely. And that plays above the first 4 tiles in Apolloon. Not a great score, but a good score, and it sorts the rack out. And it's not too dangerous. Okay, so 26 for my opponent, that's okay. He's opened up column 1 for a 6-letter play. I don't have any. My yoga spot remains available. Somewhat dangerous. Go takes a number of tiles in front of it, so my opponent could have a play running across here for quite a lot. But I've got an A for going in front of the W. And I need to keep scoring and keep a decent rack leave, and this does that. Horrible pickup. I don't think Thuddy is good. I probably do have plays in row E. My opponent's likely to go there. There's not much else on offer on this board. I haven't got a 6-letter play beginning with A. Horde is good, H-A-U-D. So it'd be nice to play off the D and the U. Well, and the Y, and that's the problem. Playing off D, U and Y is difficult. Yord is good. Okay, that probably keeps the best rack leave. Nowhere for that at the moment. I don't think Y-E-H-S is good. Nice play by my opponent. Scores well, doesn't open up anything. 16 minutes on my clock, 59 tiles left. I don't have anything through the F. Nothing goes in front of Bop. My D goes in front of Owl. But again, it needs to be 6 letters long to score, and I don't have a 6-letter play. Duad is good. This is just a clunky and tricky rack to deal with. And if I don't deal with it, I'll have a tricky rack next go too. Well, what about this for 40 points? Horrible rack leave, but a great score, and I'm giving nothing away. Okay, that's okay. Can't see anything down from J1, a 6-letter play. Can't see anything onto the F, so it's an awful rack, but it's an awful board, and that means it's an awful board for my opponent as well as me, and he's behind. Vor takes just an S after it. I keep looking in row J underneath the waiters, but my U doesn't go anywhere, and I'm anxious to get rid of it because it's non-bingo-y. So a play of DUH now would leave quite a nice rack leave. But there's nowhere for that. Unhat is good, I think. But that would keep both Ds. Wygo takes nothing in front of it. So this is a tight board. Do I have anything which goes in front of EHS? I don't. I think an R and a P are the only tiles which do. I'm looking again at the bottom of column 1 to see what I've got down here. I guess the best I can do is something like add, keeping hunt. Not great. Although, if I'm keeping the U, it would be good to keep the N with it. My opponent changes, that's good. So, what to do? I'm not sure I had anything in mind. I was hoping my opponent would provide something. 12 points for add. It doesn't give much away. Do I really have nothing ending with F? I don't think so. Is there... What about beginning with W? No good, because nothing goes after W. If I play underneath the waiters, I'm retaining the U and giving my opponent access to premium squares. Not good. Just looking in row J, because one advantage of playing add is that I'm taking out a 6-letter lane my opponent could use. I'm just wondering if I can take it out in a way that uses a U. But I can't see such a play, because if I do play off a U, I certainly want to play off one of the Ds. So I think this is okay. I'm not providing any floating vowels, and only an S goes after add. Great. Having kept the U, I draw the U, and I've got quaff at A1. Fantastic. I hope that stays available. It may not. Very few places to score on this board. But it's nice to see the QU combination. So where else can I play my Q? And what's good about QU is if I don't get to play it this time, it's not a problem keeping it, because it's a net positive rack leave. So I can only see quaff at A1, but my opponent may play a 2-letter play at D1, which would be a problem, unless he puts an I there, in which case quaff would still play. There are openings on this board for non-bingo plays. There is row J, parallel to a waiters. There is the second D of add. My opponent's changed 4 tiles, so he may have kept 3 good tiles and may now have a bingo which can go down, which would be fine because it would keep quaff available. I have a 40-point lead. I don't think there are any 8-letter bingos with this rack, certainly none I've seen. Yep, there goes my opponent bingoing away. Just looking at the floaters in case there's an 8 that I've missed. I can't see one. I'm looking also to see if there's a better Q spot. Now, what about the R? 54 points for quaff. Can't see anything placing the Q on this double letter square. I've got quoth on my rack. That doesn't play anywhere. Well, I think I'll just leave it open and see what happens. Quaff 54. Okay, a reasonable rack leave. I don't think there's a bingo here. But I've got scoring tiles in the B and the H. And I have a 20-point lead, but that's likely to vanish with the triple word squares available in row A. I should have checked ridders, I'm not 100% sure of it, but I think it's good. Just looking at the floaters in ridders in case I have a bingo. I haven't seen anything yet. I will check this, I think it's good. Yep, okay, so great back-to-back bingos by my opponent, who's now got a 70-point lead. And the floaters he's provided are the same as were available before. So I need to keep the board open and leave myself with a bingo-y rack leave. How can I do that? Well, I could play birth. Which will score well. Not a great rack leave, although the GN has some synergy and the Val constant balance is okay. 42 points is a decent score. Just wondering if I've got to play which keeps my E, but I don't think I do. Not good at all. Too many vowels, no scoring tiles. I've got birthing, but that's keeping AA00. 42 points. Tempting. I think I can do better than that. Gonia and Ngayo are both good. Just 2 O's and 2 A's to come, so it wouldn't be the biggest disaster in the world playing birthing. I've got an O for going underneath Z. My I can go after the Q, but I can't see anything good. So I'm 26 points behind. I'm now 60 points behind. Birthing keeps me vaguely in touch. Although my opponent has killed the bingo lanes here. So the remaining bingo lanes are just beginning with the D or beginning with an S. 2 S's to come. Neither of which are particularly promising. So it would be nice to open the board up. Can I do that? What about a play beginning with R running across the bottom of Slesia? So it could begin RA or RO. O can go underneath RE. And I can. So I could play Rani. I'm going to play birthing to take the score. If I play in row F, I'm not really opening the board up. And these, as 2-letter combinations, are quite good for 9-letter plays. So, and also about birthing, it doesn't provide anything for my opponent. Okay, pretty horrendous. I'm 18 points behind, but my opponent's on turn. So I am looking to open the board up. But what do I have underneath Slesia? I note that my C can go underneath AR. I thought I had Arco, but RER not good. So I can't see anything there. It may be that I should change and keep AR in the hope of drawing one of the S's and an E, quite likely with 6 of them to come. 9 minutes on my opponent's clock, 10 on mine. I just can't see what would be a good rack leave with this rack that is attainable. I'd certainly want to play off 2 O's and an A, and I can't see a way of doing that. I think the best I could do would be row. 23 points might be worth doing. I think that's just about better than changing, especially since I'm not definitely in need of a bingo. This board is quite tight, but if my opponent plays in that spot, I think I will have to change. There's just not enough points available elsewhere. I don't mind keeping the C, it's quite bingo-y, but without the C, I'm only playing with 1 point tiles. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. Another bingo by my opponent. Great series of moves by him. He has, however, opened the board up for bingo lanes in rows K and M. 19 tiles left. No A's left, and I think that tilts the balance in favour of playing row. 23. Well, a Jackie-O not good, capital A. And not a good rack, although it's usually nice to see the J. I am now a bingo behind and do need a bingo. And, ooh, wow, look at that. It's come off. That is a disaster. Gosh, I was fairly confident about that. I thought it was a roll-on, roll-off ferry. I guess it's hyphenated or something else. Now I'm in bad shape. I'm 90 points behind. My opponent's on turn. I will be changing. Gosh, I was very confident about row. However, is there anything better than changing? Okay, this game is slipping away. I am going to change. The only alternative to changing, I think, is Toko. It's only 18 points. Yeah, I'm thinking about keeping the C, but with another C out there, I don't think I will. Now, I'm not sure what's happened there. Oh, I still haven't made a move, so change. Select the tiles. Done. Okay, that's worked. Now I draw the J. But this is a better rack than when I fleetingly had the J before. If I could play off the J, the remaining tiles should be pretty bingo-y. So at the moment I can see Jet above Divalent, keeping Care. 35 points, that's pretty good. Neck takes an S, still 2 of those to come. Can't see a way of placing my J on this triple letter square without burning both E's, which I don't want to do. Only 2 more to come. Just scanning the board for spots for my J. Close to rejected in row C. But that's not worth fishing for. Can't see any extensions to add with this rack, which are worth considering. I am looking to play the J off because it's non-bingo-y, and to have any remote chance of winning the game, I do need to bingo. Remaining tiles not massively bingo-y, but certainly quite a lot of bingos there. So my opponent may not have ended his bingo run. But even without a bingo, he could score well in column 15 with the S, a play of socks, for example. Okay, so my jet spot remains available, and I like this. There are still 2 T's to come, so this is quite a nice rack leave, and I'm not obstructing rows K and M too much. So jet 35. Well, close to a bingo, but I don't think there's one here. And there's only 10 tiles in the bag, and I'm 130 points behind. So really, I'm 2 bingos behind. This game is looking lost. 5 tiles in the bag. Can I reduce the losing spread by bingoing before the end of the game? Just considering this floating D in case I've got something through it, but I can't see anything. My G can go in front of REE, but nothing else. No other tiles can play either side of it. Now I don't want to block a bingo lane. My G can go after JA, but then nothing goes after EL. What about playing veg or VOG? Remaining vowels, 6 out of 12. Okay, so that's not a good keep. It would be much better to play go, which I can do up here. 15 points. Well, I can't see a bingo here. And there's only 2 tiles in the bag. Can't see anything through the D, and I don't see any 7s on my rack. Still the X out there. My opponent's likely to have it. No massive X spots on the board that I can see. Onto a K, I would have Eco Freak. Well, that's not available. The I also available for bingos, but that doesn't go well with my rack. I'm looking around for spots for my F. It could go in front of FU. R can go in front of ET. Okay, my opponent's emptied the bag. I can see what he's got. He's got 16. Go N not good. Vols is, so I need to block that. And I can do that by playing Foe. And then I've got race and ret. And lacer. So I can go out. Can I do better than Faux? Vol takes an A after it as well as an E. Just wondering if I can stick my F or C on this double letter square. Well, I could play Arika. If I had another A. So it's just the A and the E which go after Vol. What about a play which begins with one of those tiles? Can it reach the triple word square? It would have to be a 6-letter play. Well, I can't see anything. I'm going back to Faux. I don't think it enables my opponent to bingo, although I may have overlooked something in my misery. So at the moment I'm considering race and ret. I've also got acre and at. Lacer doesn't score as much as either of those options. I can't see anything through the T, which gets tripled. So I'm waiting for my opponent to play. He's got 2 minutes on his clock. I don't know much about my opponent, but he's above 1800, so that means he's a real-life tournament player, I think. Let's see the publicly available information. Ranked 23rd in Singapore. Well, that's a strong Scrabble playing country. Capable of playing stupid and suicidal moves. Well, not in this game, unfortunately. My opponent's got taxi down from the T of divalent. He's got ixias above it. And ixias and goes. And taxis and goes. But I guess he's looking for something better than any of those. And he's got 1.5 minutes to find it. I've got acre in row B, so I've got a ton of places that I can go out. 33 for my opponent. I don't think he's provided anything great for me. So I have race for 15. Well, actually, acre up here scores more. 16. Can I beat 16? COU not good, otherwise acre could play beside go. Okay, I think that's the best I can see. Just wait for my opponent to formally end the game, which he does. And the final score, 390 to me, 525 for my opponent. A winning margin of 135 points. So well done to my opponent. Let's see what I missed. Okay, no message about ridders, so that was good. This was my opening rack, and everything looked fabulous. No bingo, but so good to have the blank at the beginning. Huey, pretty good. No way of splitting up the H and W without changing. But I played UH, and I think that's fine. My opponent has Apolloon. Bio waste. Oh, wow, there was a double-double through the O. Very nice. Well done if you saw that. I didn't. Wiretaps at A4. Okay, not so good because it's opening up row A. So certainly Bio-Waste was the play. Instead I did Waiters for 16 fewer points. My opponent plays Vor. This was my rack. F3, Hoyer. Oh well, pretty good, 30 points. Hoagie was playable at F9. So Hayes is good. What did I do? I played Yoga for 26, keeping ADH. Yeah, okay, that's in the mix. My opponent plays 4. I played just the Y, and I think that's the play despite the horrendous leave because of the score. My opponent changes. And now this is, I think, where I played Add for 18, keeping Hunt. Well, Hand for 19, keeping Dut isn't much different. Except I did Add for only 12, keeping Hunt. Okay, some of the other plays might have been better, but I think they're all opening the board up, and Add is quite a tight play, and I am in the lead at this point. However, all was about to change. My opponent has Ridders. I have Quaff. I could have played Quirt for 42, sacrificing 12 points, but I'm behind now, so I think I'd rather leave that open. I play Quaff, and now great play by my opponent, Sleazier, which gave him a big lead. And I miss a comeback bingo of Behoting through the eye. Okay, pretty annoying. However, I played Birth for 42, which is only 24 fewer points, so it's not the biggest disaster in the world. My opponent plays Pram, and at this point I'm a bingo behind, but my rack is awful. However, 42 points is good. The lower scoring bingos are around 58, 59. So Birthing is a good 2/3 of a bingo, despite the bad rack leave. Now, fabulous rack for my opponent. He gets Divalent down. And now this is where I disgrace myself with Row. All of the rack leaves here are poor, and the scores are pretty lame. So I think changing was best at this point. My opponent plays Neck. I now do change. My opponent plays Mino, and now I'm just far too far behind. I'm 160 points behind. Only 13 tiles in the bag. I don't have a bingo on my rack. M8 Ejector, pretty nice. What did I do? I played Jet for 35, keeping Race. I think that's as good or better than Ejector. Nice rack for my opponent. He plays Scout. And what did I do here? I played Go to try and bingo. My opponent doesn't have a bingo despite his nice looking rack. He plays Vol. I have Reef, keeping Ochre. And there are 2 spots for Ochre. There's underneath the T of Divalent, and there's row B. So I think Reef probably the play. I played Fae for 25. So let me just see what my opponent has. He doesn't have anything great. He plays Taxi. And I go out with Ache of 16. I could have got 1 more point by playing it at K11. A-C-R-E. Oh, A-C-E-R. Yeah. Okay. And that was the end of the game. So, a big loss, despite starting with a blank and then having the second blank. But my opponent had a great run of bingos in the end, and I missed a bingo of my own. So it's just a roller coaster type of game which you get with Scrabble sometimes. So I hope you enjoyed watching that, and I will see you next time.